Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Listen. Lean in and feel the hidden tremor beneath your ribs, the quiet thunder of a destiny demanding daybreak. Somewhere in the marrow of your bones, a forgotten empire is stirring, knocking on the gates of doubt, asking, "Is this all?" Most people hush that sound with the noise of routine. But not you, not today. Today you will let the roar out. Today you will remind every cell in your body that the Creator etched potential into you the way He etched spark into flint, latent until struck, silent until awakened by decision. Remember the first time you saw a lightning carve open the sky and felt the electric certainty that power can be born in an instant? That is your mind, a charged atmosphere waiting for command. Napoleon Hill called the mind a broadcasting and receiving station for thought. He showed us that thought, charged with faith, becomes the lightning that splits circumstances wide open. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, yet the tragedy is that most minds never move past conception, never dare to wed the spark of desire to the steel of determination. Look around. Subways packed with hurried eyes, offices glowing long after sunset, screens scrolling endless feeds. Humanity is wired, tired, connected, and yet strangely disconnected from its own internal brilliance. The raw, roaring volcanic force that built pyramids, forged railroads through mountains, painted the ceilings of cathedrals, and put rovers on Mars did not evaporate after history class it relocated into you, coiled like compressed spring steel. It longs for release. It aches to prove that miracles are not relics but blueprints. Why then do we smother that ache? Because fear disguised as logic whispers lullabies. Be realistic. Because criticism impersonating concern hums from familiar tongues. Don't aim too high. Because a culture hypnotized by comfort erects soft prisons and calls them normal. But normal is the slow death of greatness. Normal is the anesthetic you are about to shake off like a bear exiting hibernation, ravenous for life. Normal is the tiny room you outgrew the moment you dared to imagine more. Stand with me at the threshold of possibility. Feel the keys of your imagination weighing warm in your palm, forged by every hardship you have survived, every book you have read, every prayer you have whispered in sleepless nights. Know this. The door before you opens inward. You must push, not wait. You must decide, not drift. Decision, as Hill taught, is the pivot upon which fortunes turn. Andrew Carnegie decided, as a penniless immigrant, that steel would obey his vision and history bent around that decision. Decision is not an event, it is a covenant. When you decide, you burn the ships of retreat and build bridges of resolve. You write your future on the parchment of the present with ink distilled from your own refusal to quit. Every step becomes a signature confirming that covenant. The great error is to believe you must see the entire staircase before you climb. No, clarity grows with elevation. The summit reveals itself only to those who keep ascending. Hear this truth. The limitations you accept are rentals, not deeds. They do not belong to you. You merely inhabit them. Evict them. Replace their faded wallpaper of excuses with murals of daring possibility. The walls will tremble, the ceiling will crack, and the roof of your old story will fly off, revealing a sky vast enough to hold the life you were meant to live. Now breathe. Feel oxygen as liquid permission. With each inhale, internalize one iron law. You are the steward of a power that refuses to stay caged. With each exhale, release the dust of doubt. Let the furnace of desire glow hotter than the chill of skepticism. You were not designed to tiptoe through the earth as a whisper. You were fashioned to thunder across it as testimony to what the human spirit can do when it remembers it is limitless. Listen again. That tremor in your chest has become a drum calling warriors to the field. Your untapped potential is not a distant treasure. It is muscle waiting to flex, voice waiting to speak, vision waiting to carve itself into marble reality. This moment is the crack in the damlet, the waters rise. And as they rise, remember, Greatness begins in the mind, but is born through the heart, the hands, the relentless march of disciplined action. The next footstep you take will be the first beat of a new symphony, and history is waiting to write its name after the colon of your decision. Step forward. Feel the ground, adjust its axis to accommodate a soul on fire. Mindset is not merely the software of thought. It is the operating system of reality. Emerson said we become what we think about all day, and Hill codified that truth. The dominating thoughts of your mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical reality. Thoughts are seeds, but seeds without care remain dormant. Seeds nourished by belief become forests. So tend your inner soil, remove the rocks of resentment, the weeds of envy, the acidic doubts that stunt growth. Plant visions instead, skyscrapers gleaming at sunrise with your name on blueprints, scholarship letters stamped with hope, nonprofits feeding futures, inventions rewriting the rules of possibility. Water these visions daily with words spoken out loud until the world outside echoes the reverberations of the world inside. See your dreams with such high-definition clarity that hesitation has no camouflage. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before coaxing electric light into a filament. Walt Disney was rejected by bankers 302 times before one believed in a kingdom of imagination. Harriet Tubman returned again and again to guide others to freedom when a single escape would have satisfied an ordinary survivor. These lives are not museum pieces, they are mirrors. Stare long enough and you recognize your reflection in their courage. Anchor your vision to purpose. Purpose is the gravity that keeps dreams from floating away in the hot air of distraction. Purpose is the compass that renders every detour, every setback, into a necessary contour of the map. Without purpose, energy scatters. With purpose, energy concentrates into laser brilliance capable of slicing through steel. Ask yourself the Carnegie question, what is my major definite purpose? Do not fear if the answer trembles at first. Sit with it, walk with it. The whisper will rise to a roar when you commit. Purpose demands discipline. Discipline is the silent builder erecting the architecture of your future while applause is absent. Discipline wakes before dawn, laces shoes, drafts pages, makes calls, studies charts, rehearses speeches, even when motivation is a no-show. Motivation is the spark. Discipline is the wildfire that sustains the burn through rainstorms of doubt. Understand this. Action is the crackling electricity that turns ambition into achievement. The greatest ideas expire in the graveyard of hesitation. Do one brave thing today, then another tomorrow. Momentum will awaken like a lion that once roused refuses to lie back down. Edison did not theorize his way to the light bulb. He experimented. Oprah did not dream her way to influence. She stepped onto stages when rooms were hostile and cameras few. Every titan you admire built their legacy in the mud, not in the comfort of ivory towers. Along the journey, adversity will disguise itself as an enemy, but it is in truth a sculptor. The hammer blows of failure chip away the unnecessary, revealing the masterpiece beneath. When Henry Ford's first automobile company collapsed, he salvaged wisdom from the wreckage and engineered processes the world had never seen. When Lincoln faced defeat after defeat, he forged resilience so unbreakable that it carried a nation through civil war. Adversity does not visit to destroy you. It arrives to instruct. Do not merely survive storms. Harvest them. Capture the winds of turmoil in the sails of learning. Study every setback as a scientist studies data, not as a victim collects grievances. Ask, what is this teaching me? How can this refine my strategy, purify my intent, enlarge my empathy? In that relentless inquiry, you transform pain into power, chaos into clarity. Gratitude will be your lens. It converts everyday miracles into fuel. Gratitude is not passive thanks. It is active recognition of resources. When you count blessings, you discover armies of allies' health, friends, mentors, books, opportunities marching beside you. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to plenty, from deficit to surplus. And a surplus mind recruits solutions like iron filings to a magnet. Adaptability will be your strategy. The river reaches the sea not by arguing with boulders, but by flowing around them. In a world where technology reinvents itself before breakfast, rigidity is rust. Adopt the beginner's mind, curious, humble, hungry. Study new languages, learn code, explore unfamiliar cultures, read old books with fresh eyes. Life rewards the learner long after it has forgotten the knower. And while you adapt, keep learning like oxygen, constant, vital, invisible, yet indispensable. Read autobiographies of giants so their footsteps echo inside your imagination. Attend seminars, listen to podcasts, apprentice yourself to mentors living and departed. Knowledge lights corridors where fear once lurked. The more you learn, the less you fear, and the less you fear, the bolder your actions. Now feel the surge. Belief, vision, purpose, discipline, action, gratitude, adaptability, learning they whirl within you like atoms forming a new element. You are no longer merely a person with potential. You are potential in motion, destiny in acceleration. There is a hum in your spirit, the sound of gears engaging. The road ahead glistens with the promise of milestones illuminated by the headlights of determination. Step onto it. The horizon is already bending to your intent. Keep moving. The road is long, but distance is devoured by the rhythm of consistent strides. Each dawn you lace your commitment tighter. Each dusk you record victories large and microscopic, disciplining your subconscious to recognize progress. Hill taught the power of auto-suggestion repetition of thoughts to imprint belief upon the subconscious mind. So you speak, I am relentless, resourceful, ready. You write it, chant it, embody it until the cells of your skin glow with conviction. Scientists have begun to map this transformation in neural pathways, but your lived experience will chart it faster. Environment matters. The most indomitable seed still requires fertile ground. Surround yourself with allies of aspiration. Craft a mastermind, Hill's immortal term for a collective mind formed by harmonious cooperation of two or more individuals. When minds align on a definite purpose, they summon a third, greater mind, a force multiplier. This council becomes your sounding board, your accountability grid, your forge where ideas are tempered into impervious strategy. Choose members not merely for their credentials, but for their character and audacity. Guard that environment. Negativity is contagious, pessimism airborne. Limit exposure to voices that siphon energy. Curate your digital feed like a royal library, only volumes that elevate. Protect mornings from the intrusion of notifications, for dawn is sacred. Ritualize your entry into each day. Silence, gratitude, visualization, movement, planning. Rituals transform chaos into cadence, and cadence into creativity. Fuel your body with respect. Potential inhabits flesh. Treat that flesh as a cathedral. Hydrate, nourish, train, rest. Clarity of mind glides on the bloodstream of health. Edison napped on workbenches, Lincoln walked miles, athletes visualized victory while sculpting muscle fiber. Physical vitality is not vanity. It is stewardship of the vessel that transports vision into reality. As you progress, beware the mirage of arrival. Achievements will accumulate. Promotions, patents, headlines, applause. Celebrate, but do not camp on plateaus. The summit of one mountain reveals the silhouette of the next. Achievement without growth petrifies into boredom. Growth without contribution collapses into ego. So extend your hand. Mentor, teach, donate, serve. Wealth stagnant rots, wealth circulating irrigates futures. Hill ended every philosophy with service, for service completes the circle of prosperity. Contribution ignites legacy. Legacy is not marble statues or your name on street signs. Legacy is the ripple of empowerment that radiates from your life long after your heartbeat fades. Speak words today that echo in classrooms decades from now. Build businesses today that fund cures tomorrow. Plant wisdom today that grandchildren you will never meet harvest as courage. In moments of doubt, summon resilience. Resilience is the muscle built by lifting days heavier than you imagined you could carry. It is forged in the furnace of failed prototypes, lady-night rejections, market crashes, broken partnerships, illnesses that threaten momentum. Resilience is the anthem sung by hearts that refuse silence. Helen Keller learned to speak in a world that assumed her lips would never form words. Nelson Mandela emerged from decades of imprisonment with a spirit unshackled. Malala Yousafzai stood before assemblies previously closed to girls' voices, fearless and radiant. Resilience gains strength from perspective. Time tests all storms. What seems catastrophic now will, with distance, shrink to a line in your memoir titled, "The Season That Revealed My Strength." Frame challenges as chapters, not tombstones. Ask, when I tell this story from a stage 5 years hence, what lesson will the audience need? Then live that lesson into existence. And remember, humor is resistance disguised as laughter. Laugh at the absurdities of setbacks. They are temporary actors in your epic, unaware the script demands their exit soon. Humor oxygenates perseverance. Faith will anchor resilience. Faith is the evidence of things unseen, the conviction that a bridge exists beyond the fog. Faith is not blind, it is visionary, perceiving with inner eye what outer eyes cannot yet confirm. Edison's lab exploded more than once, yet he believed light would come. Carnegie believed steel would rebuild a nation. Disney believed a swamp in Florida could become a world of dreams. Believe likewise that your idea, your cause, your calling can weather ridicule, scarcity, desertion, and doubt. Couple faith with mastery. Study your craft until individuals labeled genius seek your notes. Practice past comfort. Raise standards. Michelangelo chiseled veins into marble. You must chisel excellence into every output. The market values rarity, and mastery is rare. Make your work a cathedral, and excellence its architecture. And as mastery rises, so must humility. The universe does not orbit your ambition. Rather, ambition must find its orbit within the greater good. Humility keeps horizons infinite. The beginner's mind you cultivate today will invite breakthroughs tomorrow. Finally, sustain momentum with joy. Joy is high-octane fuel, self-generated, replenished through gratitude and wonder. Marvel at sunsets after 16-hour days. Celebrate the first sale with the same awe as the millionth. Dance, pray, laugh, look children in the eyes, feel rain on your face. Joy is not distraction from success. It is the sound success makes when the soul is aligned with purpose. You are traveling now at a speed where past and future blur, leaving only the vivid, burning present. Here, in present action, potential becomes performance, and performance becomes proof that the laws of achievement are not myths, they are maps. You are following them with the courage of a pioneer and the precision of an engineer. Stay alert, stay grateful, stay hungry. The world is tilting, waiting for the next bold thinker to reset its course. Tilt it. Accelerate. Let the roar of your commitment harmonize with the hum of universal law. Hill wrote of an unseen element he called infinite intelligence, a reservoir of ideas waiting for minds tuned to its frequency. Tuning happens when desire is white-hot, persistence unbroken, and thought directed with laser specificity. So calibrate now. Picture your aim, not as a hazy wish, but as coordinates more exact than any GPS, the precise income, the precise impact, the precise transformation in the lives you touch. Visualize with sensory richness. Feel the leather of the boardroom chair as you seal that transformative deal. Taste the salt of sweat and sea air as you complete the charity marathon. Hear the applause as your invention is unveiled. See the tears of relief on faces rescued by your solution. These mental rehearsals are blueprints handed to infinite intelligence, and the universe, like a master builder, arranges resources to match them. But visualization without emotional charge is a silent film. Charge it with emotion gratitude for the outcome as though already possessed, pride in the discipline you demonstrate, love for the people you serve. Emotion colors the blueprint, highlighting dimensions the subconscious understands more readily than words. Neuroscientists now corroborate what Hill intuited. The brain encodes emotionally laden imagery as reality, thus priming behavior to align. Then act. Act with urgency, unmarred by haste. Urgency is focus, haste is frenzy. Urgency blocks time thieves, hushes procrastination, and magnetizes opportunity. Start before you feel ready. Readiness often follows action, not the reverse. Remember the Wright brothers testing wings on sand dunes while experts scoff from lecture halls? Surround urgency with persistence. Persistence is faith-wearing work boots. It outlasts market cycles, social media trends, the fluctuating moods of gatekeepers. When Winston Churchill commanded never, never, never give in, he voiced the same principle Hill embedded in every chapter. Sustained effort, backed by burning desire, neutralizes failure. The stonecutter's 100th strike splits the granite, not because that blow is mightier than the rest, but because the 99 before it prepared the way. Prepare yourself for the price of greatness, uncertainty, criticism, occasional loneliness. When these tolls appear, pay gladly. They are receipts proving you are on the premium path. You will be misunderstood by those invested in your old identity. Smile and keep building. You will be judged by those who fear your mirror on their complacency. Bless them and keep climbing. You will doubt yourself on nights when results lag behind effort. Breathe, review your purpose, and press on. Doubt is a traffic signal, not a dead end. Measure progress intelligently. Track key metrics that matter: skills mastered, leads generated, pages written, prototypes tested, lives changed. Numbers are truth serum against self-deception. But do not worship metrics, interpret them. If alignment falters, adjust strategy, not vision. Edison adjusted filament materials, not the goal of electric light. Innovation will become your ally. Innovation is not reserved for laboratories. It thrives wherever curiosity meets courage. Innovate in how you speak, sell, teach, parent, love. Innovate systems, schedules, habits. If something feels cumbersome, ask, how can this be done smarter, faster, better? Then listen. Answers emerge when questions persist. Collaboration amplifies innovation. Fuse your strengths with others. The smartphone fused computing with telephony. Streaming fused entertainment with bandwidth, and humanity advanced. Your dream likewise may require talents you do not possess. Invite them, offer your genius in return. The world expands through exchange. While you collaborate, steward integrity. Integrity is the non-negotiable currency of trust. It cannot be counterfeited. Attempts eventually collapse. Keep promises, especially to yourself. When circumstances tempt corners to be cut, remember the law of compensation. Every shortcut today lengthens the journey tomorrow. Maintain emotional mastery. Emotions are signals, not sovereigns. Anger can be alchemized into resolve, fear into vigilance, sadness into empathy. Observe emotions, name them, redirect them toward the grand design. A pilot adjusts course against turbulence, not because the sky is malevolent, but because vector matters. In quiet hours, cultivate reflection. Reflection sharpens self-awareness, the meta-skill underlying all others. Ask nightly, what did I learn? Where did I lead with courage? Where did I shrink? Journal in ink. Clarity crystallizes when thoughts are trapped on paper. Over time, pages reveal patterns, and patterns reveal next steps. Last, nourish spirit. Regardless of creed, there is within every human a longing for the luminous. Feed it through meditation, prayer, nature, art, silence. Spiritual hunger ignored mutates into restlessness. No achievement can satisfy. Spirituality honored ignites serenity amid storms and meaning beneath milestones. Feel now a convergence. Mind, body, emotion, spirit, strategy, environment, action. They unite like tributaries merging into a river wide enough to carve canyons. This river is your life in full current, no longer dammed by hesitation. The roar is unmistakable. It announces that untapped potential is now tapped, harnessed, directed offshore toward horizons bright with beckoning possibility. And yet, even a river seeks the sea. Your sea is legacy impact that echoes beyond your timeline. Imagine a century from now, children learning in classrooms, powered by technology, your ideas inspired, families thriving on foundations, your courage laid, societies debating on principles, your voice dared to articulate. Picture a planet incrementally, kinder, cleaner, wiser, because you, in this era of unprecedented choice, decided to activate the full measure of what was hidden within. To secure that legacy, practice continual reinvention. The oak releases acorns. So must you release versions of yourself into fertile ground. Each success is not a finish line, but a seedling of the next evolution. Hold achievements lightly. Hold vision firmly. Use yesterday's trophies as today's stepping west stones. Lead others across bridges you built. Mentorship is multiplication. One enlightened mind can illuminate thousands, who in turn enlighten millions. Share strategies, share failures, share faith. In doing so, you deposit wealth into the collective account of human progress. What you give circulates back, magnified. Remember, too, the counterweight of humility. Stand tall on peaks, but kneel often in gratitude. Success unattached from humility calcifies into arrogance, and arrogance erects walls that block further ascent. Humility keeps doors open, keeps questions alive, keeps learning perpetual. Celebrate, but never idolize comfort. Comfort is a couch unfolding into quicksand. Visit comfort like a traveler rests at an inn recover. Reflect, re-enter the journey at dawn. Stretch ceilings into floors by daring higher. The human spirit withers in cages of familiarity and blooms in corridors of challenge. As twilight drapes the skyline of your endeavor and the first stars flicker awake, listen one final time to the whisper that started this odyssey. It has grown into a clarion call. It says, "You are an architect of possibility, a scribe of destiny, a conductor of unseen symphonies. The tools were always in your hands, the compass always in your chest, the permission always in your breath. So rise tomorrow before the horizon blushes, plant your feet on the map of your intentions, and march. March with the cadence of Edison tinkering through nightfall, with the resolve of Lincoln penning words to bind a nation, with the imagination of Disney sketching castles in the margins of rejection letters. March until pavement turns to runway and runway to sky. Fly. When storms gather, recall that planes ascend against wind, not with it. Use resistance as lift. When critics chorus, let their voices remind you that you are visible, and visibility is influence. When fatigue paints your vision gray, rest but do not resign. The dawn will rinse the palate. One day, decades hence, you will stand on a shoreline at sunset, waves applauding the coastline, and you will know without doubt that you drained the reservoir of your potential into the river of purpose. You will smile at footprints behind you, leading farther than eyes can trace, and realize they are shining paths for others to follow. In that quiet knowing, grandeur meets grace. But that day is not today. Today's ignition. Today is pen meeting paper, idea meeting execution, heartbeat meeting battle drum. Today, the truth about your untapped potential is no longer a secret. It is proclamation. Declare it aloud. Everything I need is within me, and everything within me I will give to the world. Then do exactly that. Give your vision, your sweat, your genius, your love. Give until the warehouse of latent capacity stands empty, and the world is richer for the emptiness you leave behind. Give until mountains move and oceans part, and miracles appear ordinary. Give until history stops to take notes. And when you finally rest, may your rest be deep and your dreams lighter, buoyed by the knowledge that you answered the call, crossed the threshold, forged the masterpiece. The echo of your journey will travel through generations as proof. Potential, once dared, transforms reality. The sun is setting on hesitation and rising on destiny. Step into the light. Begin now. Begin bold. Begin unstoppable.